Oh. I've half a mind to register an oath that I'll never have my hair cut again. And I was particularly emphatic in my instructions to the hairdresser, only to cut the ends off. He must have thought I meant the other ends. Never mind. I shan't meet anybody to care about so early. 8 o'clock. I declare I haven't a moment to lose. Fate has placed me with the most punctual, particular and peremptory of hatters, and I must fulfil my destiny. Open locks, whoever knocks.
Good morning, Colonel Cox. I hope you slept comfortably, Colonel.
I can't say that I did, Bouncer. I should feel obliged to you if you could accommodate me with a more protuberant bolster, Bouncer. The one I've got now seems to me to have about a handful and a half of feathers at each end, and nothing whatever in the middle.
Anything to accommodate you, Captain Cox.
Thank you. Then perhaps you'll be good enough to hold this glass when I finish my toilet.
Certainly. Why, I do declare you've had your hair cut.
Cut? It strikes me I've had it mowed. It's very kind of you to mention it, but I'm sufficiently conscious of the absurdity of my personal appearance already. I look as if I'd been cropped for the militia.
The militia! I recollect when I was in the militia.
Oh, now he's off on his hobby.
Yes, we were mounted on chargers. I recollect upon one occasion being seated firmly in me saddle for 8 hours, and I don't recollect being able to sit down again firmly for a considerable period afterwards.
Yes, yes, in those merry days. Yes, yes, in those brilliant days. We gathered our laurels and rode on our bays. We gathered our laurels and rode on our bays. I mounted a horse in Her Majesty's course, as one of the yeomen who leads with the foeman for fair invasion, threatened the nation, and every man in the rear of the van found an occasion, and every man in the rear of the van found an occasion to sing. Rataplan, 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 plan, 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 rataplan, plan, plan, we sounded a trumpet, we beat the drum. Somehow the enemy, somehow the enemy, somehow the enemy did come. So I gave up my horse in Her Majesty's force, as there was the foeman to meet with the yeoman, and so no invasion threatened the nation. There wasn't a man in Rataplan, 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 plan, 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 rataplan, plan, plan,
Well, this is pleasant. This comes of having one's hair cut. None of my hats will fit me. Never mind. This one appears to me to wobble about rather less than the others. And now I'm off. By the by, Bouncer, I wish to know how it is that I frequently find my apartment full of smoke.
I suppose the chimney.
The chimney doesn't smoke tobacco. I'm speaking of tobacco smoke. How is that?
Oh, I suppose, yes, that must be it.
At present, I am not entirely of your opinion, because I haven't the most distant particle of an idea what you mean.
Why, the gentleman who has got the attics is hardly ever without a pipe in his mouth. And there he sits for hours and puffs away into the fireplace.
Ah, then you mean to say that this gentleman's smoke, instead of emulating the example of all other sorts of smoke and going up the chimney, thinks proper to effect a singularity by taking the contrary direction.
I think, yes.
Then I suppose the gentleman you are speaking of is the same individual that I invariably meet coming upstairs when I'm going down, and going down when I'm coming up.
Why, yes, I think it's...
On the appearance of his outward man, I should unhesitatingly set him down as a gentleman connected with the printing interest.
Yes, sir, and a very respectable young gentleman he is, too. Good morning.
Stay, Bouncer, stay. To me it has occurred that now's the time with you to have a word. What can he mean? I tremble, I tremble. Listen, with pleasure. Yes, I must dissemble. That 2 are 2, arithmetic explains. Take 1 from 2, and only 1 remains. Take 1 from 1, and as we have been taught, remainder none. That is, remainder naught. Take 1 from 2, take 1 from 1, take 1 from 1, and as we have been taught, remainder none. Remainder none, that is, remainder naught. You follow me. I think you can, I do. Rataplan, 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 plan, 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 plan. Now, coals is coals, as sure as eggs is eggs. Coals haven't souls, no more than they have legs. But as you will admit, the case is so. Legs or no legs, my coals contrive to go, contrive to go, contrive to go. But as you will admit, the case is so, that legs or no legs, my coals contrive to go, contrive to go. Well, I should say, or as it seems to me, exactly, quite so, then we both agree. As we agree today, I've something more to say. 'Tis not my coals alone, ah, why this cruel tone, but other things appear to say to me, which in that little closet I carefully deposit, in them a sure and gradual loss I see, until the case the poet's words reverse, small by degrees and beautifully less. Ah, yes, the case the poet's words express, small by degrees and beautifully less, small by degrees and beautifully less, ah, beautifully less. And now, Sergeant Bouncer, I beg to announce her, for there was occasion as we are my good, but am I my cold mainly seeks to my wholesale, my useless candles, tea, sugar, and what? Mr. Cox, Mr. Cox, my feelings overpower me. That his lordship, his friendly lordship, should once suspect that Bouncer is a dodger. As to who takes your clothes, wood and all of that, it must have been. No, 'twas not the cat. But the plan, not a military man, but obvious I hope not tarnished, and as to the hack, and as to the cat in the army's abolished. But the plan, you're a military man, on this I hope that it doesn't appear, and as to the cat, the treacherous cat, if it isn't in the army, don't have a care. But the plan, he's a military man. A military man. He's a military man. 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 On this I hope that it doesn't appear, and as to the cat, the treacherous cat, if it isn't in the army, we won't have a care. But the plan, he's a military man. I'm a military man. He's a military man. A military man. On this I hope that it doesn't appear, and as to the cat, the treacherous cat, if it isn't in the army, we'll have a care. But the plan, was a military man. He's a military man. He's got at last. I declare I was in all in a tremble for fear Mr. Box should come in before Mr. Cox went out. Luckily, they've never met yet. What's more, they're not very likely to do so. For Mr. Box is hard at work at a newspaper office all night and doesn't come home till the morning, and Mr. Cox is busy making hats all day long and doesn't come home till night. So that I'm getting double rent for me room
and neither of me lodgers is any the wiser for it. It was a happy thought of mine, that was. But I haven't an instant to lose. First of all, let me put Mr. Cox's things out of Mr. Box's way. Now, what's this we got here? Is this Mr. Cox's box? No. Yes, that goes there, and this goes here, and yeah, that's everything sorted. Yeah. All right, okay. Now then, to put the key where Mr. Cox always likes to find it. Now then, to make the bed. Don't let me forget that what's the head of the bed for Colonel Cox becomes the foot of the bed for a private box. Yes, people's tastes, they do differ so. Right. The idea of Colonel Cox presuming to complain of such a bolster as this.
Pooh, why don't you keep to your own side of a staircase, sir? It was as much your fault as mine, sir. I say, sir, it was as much your fault as mine, sir.
Oh, Mr. Box, what is the matter?
Mind your own business, Bouncer.
Dear Mr. Box, what a temper you're in, to be sure. I declare you are quite pale in the face. What colour would you have a man to be who's been setting up long leaders for a daily paper all night? But then, you've all day to yourself.
So it seems. Far be it from me, Bouncer, to hurry your movements, but I think it right to acquaint you with my immediate intention of divesting myself of my garments and going to bed.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Box, so just go.
Up! Can you inform me who the individual is that I invariably encounter going down the stairs when I'm coming up and coming upstairs when I'm going down?
Oh, yes, the gentleman in the attic, sir.
Oh. There's nothing particularly remarkable about him except his hats. I meet him in all sorts of hats. White hats and black hats, hats with broad brims and hats with narrow brims, hats with naps and hats without naps. In short, I have come to the conclusion that he must be individually and professionally associated with the hatting interest.
Yes, sir, and they tell me that's why he took the hattix. Never mind. And by the by, Mr. Box, he did beg me to request of you, as a particular favour, that you would not smoke quite so much.
Did he? Then you may tell the gentle hatter, with my compliments, that if he objects to the effluvium of tobacco, he'd better domesticate himself in some adjoining parish.
You surely wouldn't deprive me of a lodger?
It would come to precisely the same thing, Bouncer, because if I detect the slightest attempt to put my pipe out, I at once give you warning that I shall give you warning at once.
Well, Mr. Box, do you want anything more of me?
On the contrary, I've had quite enough of you.
Well, if ever I...
But there's one evolution I should much like to see you perform.
What's that?
Right about face!
Quick march!
It's quite extraordinary the trouble I always have to get rid of that venerable warrior. He knows I'm up all night, and yet he seems to set his face against my indulging in a horizontal position by day. Now, let me see. Shall I take my nap before I swallow my breakfast, or shall I take my breakfast before I swallow my nap? I mean, shall I swallow my nap before... Oh, no, never mind. I've got a rasher of bacon somewhere. the most distinct and vivid recollection of having purchased a rasher of bacon. Here it is. And a penny roll. Next thing is to light the fire. Where are my lucifers? Now, upon my life, this is too bad of Bouncer. This is by several degrees too bad. I had a whole box full 3 days ago, and now there's only one. I'm perfectly aware that he purloins my coals and my candles, but my sugar. But I did think, oh yes, I did think that my lucifers would be sacred. Bouncer's been using my gridiron. The last article of consumption that I cooked upon it was a pork chop, and now it is powerfully impregnated with the odour of red herrings. Oh. How sleepy I am, to be sure. I'd indulge myself with a nap. If there was anybody here to superintend the turning of my bacon. Perhaps it'll turn itself. Hushed is the bacon on the grid. I'll take a nap and close my eye. Soon shall I be nodding, singing lullaby, lullaby. Lullaby, la 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 lullaby. Hush-a-bye, bacon on the coal top, till I awaken, there you will stop. Hush-a-bye, bacon on the coal top, lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. Gentle bacon, smoke amid, which Sabrina smile on the fry, while I am nodding it, nodding, singing lullaby, lullaby. Lullaby, la 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 lullaby. Hush-a-bye, bacon on the coal top, till I awaken, there you will stop. Hush-a-bye, bacon on the coal top, lullaby. Lullaby, 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 lullaby. My master is punctual, always in business. Unpunctuality, even slight business. I'm such a crime that's on showing my business. Shop I for bevy, the devil to pay. Shop I for bevy, the devil to pay.
My aged employer, with his knowledge, shining like soot from a star in astronomy, said, Mr. Cox, you'll oblige me and honor me if you will take this as your holiday, if you will take this as your holiday. Visions of Brighton and back and the Rosherville cheap their excursions already. The squash I feel feeling the rain put on my Macintosh I feel. Now for my breakfast, my light vision, nay. Now for my breakfast, my light vision, nay.
I bought a mutton chop, so I shan't want any dinner. Good gracious, I forgot the bread. Hello, what's this? A roll, I declare. Come, that's lucky. Now then, to light the fire. Hello? Who presumes to touch my box of lucifers? Why, it's empty. I left one in it. I take my oath I did. Hey day, why is the fire lighted? Where's the gridiron? On the fire. I declare. What's that on it? Bacon? Bacon it is. Well now, upon my life, there is a quiet coolness about Bouncer's proceedings that's almost amusing. He takes my last lucifer, my coals, and my gridiron to cook his breakfast by. No, no, I can't stand this. Come out of that. Come in. Oh. It's you, Bouncer. You needn't be afraid. Oh, I wonder how long I've been asleep. Goodness gracious, my bacon! Oh, oh. Hello. What's this? A chop. Whose chop? Bouncer's, I'll be bound. He thought to cook his breakfast while I was asleep. With my coals, too, and my gridiron. Ha ha! But where's my bacon? There it is. Well, upon my life, Bouncer's going it. And shall I curb my indignation? Shall I falter in my vengeance? No. It's done that. So much for Bouncer's breakfast. And now for my own. I may as well lay my breakfast things. Come in, come in. Oh, goodness, my chop. Oh. Hello. What's this? The bacon again! Oh, pooh! Zoons! Confound it, dash it, damn it, I can't stand this!
Who are you, sir? Tell me who. If it comes to that, sir, who are you? Who are you, sir? What's that to you, sir? What's that to who, sir? Who, sir? You, sir. Who are you, sir? Who are you, sir? Tell me who, sir? Tell me who, sir? Who are you, sir? Tell me who, sir? Who are you, sir? Tell me who are you, sir? Yes, 'tis the printer. Yes, 'tis the hatter. Yes, 'tis the hatter. Printer, take a hinter, leave the room, or else shall I vainly struggle with the fire, with the raging desire to do you an injury. At
Hatter, hatter, cease your clatter, leave the room, or else shall I vainly struggle with the pie, with the raging fist desire to do you an injury, Printer, take hatter, seize your clatter, printer, hatter, hatter, seize your clatter, go. Hatter, hatter, seize your clatter, hatter, hatter, seize your clatter, hatter, 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 seize your clatter, go. Printer, hatter, seize your clatter, hatter, hatter, seize your clatter, hatter, 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 take your clatter, go. Hatter, hatter, seize your clatter, hatter, seize your clatter, go.
What are you doing in my room? Your room?
If on that you're bent, here is my receipt for rent. Your receipt is very fine. If you come to that, sir, if you come to that, sir, here is Big Mother Bouncer, he can stand Bouncer, 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 bouncer. Rataplan, 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 rataplan. Rataplan, 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 rataplan,
What do you mean by saying you're out of plan, sir? What do you mean by saying you're out of plan, sir? I mean nothing, sir. So do I, sir.
Very well, sir. Very well, sir.
Instantly remove that hatter. Immediately turn out that printer.
Whoa, but gentlemen,
Explain. Explain. Whose room is this?
Yes,
Whose room is
does
this?
it belong to me?
No. There, you hear, sir? It belongs to me.
No, it belongs to both of you.
Both of us?
Oh, yes, no. Gents, don't be angry. But you see, this gentleman, only being home in the daytime, and that gentleman, at night, I thought I might venture until my little back second floor room was ready.
And when will your little back second floor room be ready?
Oh, why, tomorrow.
I'll take it.
So will I. Excuse me, but if you both take it, you may as well just stop where you are.
True.
I spoke first. With all my heart, sir. The little back second floor room is yours, sir. Now go.
Go?
Pooh. Now don't quarrel, gentlemen. There used to be a partition here.
Then put it up.
I'll see if I can't get the other room ready this very day. Now, gents and officers, don't fight.
but keep your tempers. What a disgusting position.
Will you allow me to observe? If you have not had any exercise today, you'd better go out and take it.
I shall not do anything of the sort, sir.
Very well, sir.
Very well, sir. However, don't let me prevent you from going out.
Don't flatter yourself, sir. Hello, that's my roll, sir.
Hello, what are you about, sir?
What am I about? I'm about to smoke. Hello, put that down that window, sir.
Then put your pipe out, sir.
There.
There.
I shall retire to my pillow.
I beg your pardon, sir. I cannot allow anyone to rumple my bed.
Your bed? Harkye, sir, can you fight?
No, sir.
Then come on, sir.
Sit down, sir, or I'll instantly vociferate police.
I say, sir.
Well, sir?
Although we're doomed to occupy the same room for a few hours longer, I don't see any necessity for our cutting each other's throats,
Not at
sir.
all. It's an operation that I should decidedly object to.
And after all, I've no violent animosity against you, sir.
Nor have I any rooted antipathy to you, sir.
Besides, it was all Bouncer's fault.
Entirely, sir.
Very well, sir.
Very well, sir.
Take a bit of roll, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Do you sing, sir?
I sometimes dabble in a serenade.
Then dabble away. The buttercup dwells on the lowly mead, the daisy is bright to see, but brighter far are the eyes that read the thoughts in the heart of me. I come by night, I come by day, I come in the morning to sing my lay. I know my notes, I count each bar, and I've learned a tune on the gay guitar. Diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle 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 dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle. I come by night, I come by day, I come in the morning to sing my lay. I know my notes, I count each bar, and I've learned to tune on the gay guitar. I count each bar, I learn to tune on the gay guitar. The flower that shines on the minaret fair, the dahlia waves in the breeze, the cockchafer sighs in the midnight air, the tiki bird sings in the trees. I come by night, I come by day, I never can stay away. If you the guitar can sweetly do, I play on the concertina. The diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle 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 dum, dum diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle dum, diddle diddle. I come by night, I come by day, I come in the morning to sing my lay. I know my notes, I count each bar, and I've learned to tune on the gay guitar, on the gay guitar, on
I count each word I've learned at you on the guitar.
Have you read this month's Bradshaw, sir?
No, sir, my wife wouldn't let me.
Your wife?
That is, my intended
Well,
wife.
that's the same thing. I congratulate you.
Thank you. You needn't disturb yourself, sir. She won't come here.
I understand. You've got a snug little establishment of your own here. On the sly. Cunning dog.
No such thing, sir. I repeat, sir, no such thing. But my wife, my intended wife, happens to be the proprietor of a considerable number of bathing machines.
Aha, where?
At a favourite watering place. How curious you are. Well, consequently, in the bathing season, which is luckily rather a long one, we see but little of each other. But as that is now over, I am daily indulging in the expectation of being blessed with the sight of my beloved. You married, sir?
Me? Why, not exactly.
Ah, a happy bachelor.
Well, not precisely.
Oh, a widower.
No, not absolutely.
You'll excuse me, sir, but at present I don't understand how you can help being one of the three.
It.
No, sir, not you, nor any other man alive.
Ah, that may be. But I am not alive.
You'll excuse me, sir, but I don't like joking upon such subjects.
But I'm perfectly serious, sir. I've been defunct for the last 3 years.
Will you be quiet, sir?
If you won't believe me, I'll refer you to a very large, numerous, and respectable circle of disconsolate friends.
My dear sir, my very dear sir, if there does exist any ingenious contrivance whereby a man on the eve of committing matrimony can leave this world and yet stop in it, I shouldn't be sorry to know it.
Then there's nothing easier. Do as I did.
I will. What is it?
Drown yourself.
Will you be quiet, sir?
Listen.
Not long ago it was my fate to captivate a widow. At Ramsgate it is odd to state the same at Margate ditto. I heard not liking to be kissed, I thought I'd better try to. In the lifeguards or booze in this cap off, and so did I too. I was not tall enough, they said, too short, they said of me. The infantry I entered, and I the infantry. My widow offered to purchase my discharge for the marching line. Oh, that's odd coincidentally, the very same did mine. I hesitated to consent, for my consent she waited. I gave it far with mine, I went, and never hesitated. A happy day came near at length, we hoped it would be sun. I found I needed all my strength to face the ceremony. I suddenly found out I was unworthy to possess. I told her so at once because I feared it might distress. Before the words were out of my mouth, there came from the north and flew to the south a something that came unpleasantly near. Clattering, 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 chattering, crashing, crashing, smashing, flashing, slashing, flashing, hissing and whizzing right past my ear. It shattered itself on the mantelpiece. Whop! What was it? A tremble! The basin cold struck. Fell at my feet. It would have put the back of a man who was ever so meager. So feeling thus baited, I retaliated and threw at my widow a groggery figure. Between you then there was a fraction, and I was threatened with an action. For jail proceed. One morn, when I had finished my ablution, I took a walk, no sir, a resolution. friends or foes, none suppose, nobody knows what I doze. I tie up my clothes, my shirt and my hose, my socks for my toes, my linen for nose. I think of my woes, and under the rose I pack up my bundle, and off I goes.
Ah, I see left.
Listen. I solemnly walked to the cliff and sing a sort of put down my bundle upon the ledge. At the wild seagulls' mournful cry, looked all around, there was nobody nigh, none but I on the cliff so high, and all save the sea was bare and dry. And I took one look at the wave below, and I raised my hand in an agony throw, and I stood on the edge of the rock so deep, and I gazed like a maniac on the deep. I cried, farewell, farewell to her. Farewell, farewell to the land of my birth. Farewell, farewell to the only love, to the sea below and the sky above. With a glance at the sea of wild despair, I cried, I come. My bundle lay there, at the edge where the Coast Guard's way was chalked. Then away! In the opposite way I walked. What a clever man, what a capital plan. I listened with attention. I think that I should like to try for wonderful invention. What a clever man, what a capital plan. I listened with attention. I think that I should like to try your wonderful invention.
Dear me, I think I begin to have some slight perception of your meaning, ingenious creature. You disappeared, the suit of clothes was found, exactly, and in one of the pockets of the coat, or the waistcoat, or the pantaloons, I forget which, there was also found a piece of paper with these affecting farewell words. This is thy work, O Penelope Ann. Penelope Ann? Penelope Ann? Penelope Ann. Originally widow of William Wiggins. Widow of William Wiggins. Proprietor of bathing machines. Proprietor of bathing machines. At Margate? Ramsgate. It must be she. And you, sir, you are Box. The lamented, long-lost Box. I am. And I was about to marry the interesting creature you so cruelly deceived. Ah, then you are Cox. I am. I heard of it. I congratulate you. I give you joy. And now I think I'll go and take a stroll. No, you don't. I'll not lose sight of you till I've restored you to the arms of your intended. My intended? You mean your intended? No, sir. Yours. How can she be my intended now that I'm drowned? You're no such thing, sir. And I prefer presenting you to Penelope Ann. Permit me, then, to follow the generous impulse of my nature. I give her up to you. Benevolent being. I wouldn't rob you for the world. Good morning, sir. Stop! Unhand me, Hatter, or I shall cast off the lamb and assume the lion. Pooh! An insult to my very face, under my very nose. You know the consequences, sir. Instant satisfaction. With all my heart, sir. Bouncer! Bouncer! Bouncer!
Rataplan! Rataplan! Rataplan!
What is it, gentlemen? Pistols for two. Yes, sir. Stop. You don't mean to say, thoughtless and misguided militiamen, that you keep loaded firearms in the house? Oh, no, they're not loaded. Then produce the murderous weapons instantly. I say, sir. Well, sir. What's your opinion of duelling, sir? I think it's a barbarous practice, sir. So do I, sir. To be sure. I don't so much object to it when the pistols are not loaded. No, I dare say that does make some difference. And yet, sir, on the other hand, doesn't it strike you as rather a waste of time for two people to keep firing pistols at one another with nothing in them? No, sir, no more than any other harmless recreation. Hark ye. Why do you object to marry Penelope Ann? Because, as I've already observed, I can't abide her. You'll be happy with her. Me? With the consciousness that I have deprived you of such a treasure? No, no, Cox. Don't think of me, Box. I shall be sufficiently rewarded by the knowledge of my Box's happiness. Don't be absurd, sir. Then don't you be ridiculous. I won't have her. No more will I. I have it. Suppose we draw lots for the lady, eh, Mr. Cox? That's fair enough, Mr. Box. Or what do you say to dice? With all my heart. Dice by all means.
That's lucky. Bouncer's nephew left a pair here yesterday. He sometimes persuades me to have a throw for a trifle, and as he always throws sixes, I suspect they are good ones. I've no objection at all to dice. I lost £1.17 and sixpence at last Barnet races to a very gentlemanly-looking man who had a most peculiar knack of throwing sixes. I suspect they were loaded, so I gave him another half-crown, and he gave me the dice.
Now then, sir. I'm ready, sir. As you please, sir. The lowest throw, of course, wins Penelope Ann. Of course, sir. Very well, sir. Very well, sir. Sixes. That's a throw for you. Sixes. That's not a bad one, too. Sixes. 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 Very good dice. Yours, sir, are nice. Suppose we arrange
If it suits you to change, oh, very well, that I will do, to please a gentleman such as you. Sixes, 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 sixes. Oh, this is absurd. I never have heard of such wonderful throws as I see you with those. Oh, this is absurd. I never have heard of such wonderful throws as I see you with those. Sixes, sixes, looks like sixes, sixes. Sixes, looks like sixes with such a throw. There's nobody can ever settle the case of Penelope Ann. With such a throw, there's nobody can ever settle the case of Penelope Ann. Oh, Penelope, Penelope, Penelope Ann.
It's perfectly absurd you're going on throwing sixes in this sort of way. I shall go on till my luck changes. I have it. Suppose we toss for the lady. With all my heart.
Where's my tossing sixpence? Where's my lucky shilling? Where's my tossing shillings?
Now then, sir, heads win, or tails lose, whichever you prefer.
It's all the same to me, sir.
Very well, sir. Heads I win, tails you lose.
Yes. No.
Heads win, sir. Very well, go on.
Head. 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 Couldn't you say something else instead? Head. Head. I wish an occasional tail you'd try. Head. 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 I nail your sixpence. Hello, it's got no tail. I've a mind to pitch you out on the leads. Your shilling, I find, has got two heads. You swindle, you cheat, take care of my feet. Out of my boots are into the street. Turn outside, that is if you can. Swindle, cheat like a boss, swindle, cheat. You swindle, cheat like a bon thief. Swindle, cheat like a bon thief. Bouncer, run of blood, 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 run of blood. Not a plan, 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 not a plan,
Is the little back second floor room ready? Not quite, gentlemen. I can't find the pistols, but I have brought you a letter. It came by the general post yesterday. I am sure I don't know how I came to forget it, for I put it carefully in my pocket. You've kept it carefully in your pocket ever since? Yes, sir. I hope you'll forgive me, sir. By the by,
I paid twopence for it.
Did you? Then I do forgive you. Margate. The postmark decidedly says Margate. Oh, doubtless a tender epistle from Penelope Ann. Then read it, sir. Me, sir? Of course. You don't suppose I'm going to read a letter from your intended? My intended? Pooh! It's addressed to you. C-O-X. Do you think that's a C? It looks like a B to me. Nonsense! Fracture the seal. Goodness gracious! Goodness gracious! Margate, May the 4th. Sir, I hasten to convey to you the intelligence of a melancholy accident, which has bereft you of your intended wife. He means your intended. No, yours! However, it's perfectly immaterial. Go on. Poor Mrs. Wiggins went for a short excursion in a sailing boat. A sudden and violent squall soon after took place, which, it is supposed, upset her, as she was found 2 days afterwards, keel upwards. Poor woman. The boat, sir. As her man of business, I immediately proceeded to examine her papers, amongst which I soon discovered her will, the following extract from which will, I have no doubt, be satisfactory to you. I hereby bequeath my entire property to my intended husband. Excellent, but unhappy creature. Generous, ill-fated being. And to think that I tossed up for such a woman, when I remember that I staked such a treasure on the hazard of a die. I'm sure, Mr. Box, I can't sufficiently thank you for your sympathy. And I'm sure, Mr. Cox, you couldn't feel more if she'd been your own intended. If she'd been my own intended? She was my own intended. Your intended? Come, I like that. Didn't you very properly observe just now, sir, that I proposed to her first? To which you very sensibly replied that you'd come to an untimely end. I deny it. I say you have. The fortune's mine. Mine. I'll have it. So will I. I'll go to law. So will I. Stop. A thought strikes me. Instead of going to law about the property, suppose we divide it. Equally? Equally. I'll take 2/3. That's fair enough. And I'll take 3/4. That won't do. Half and half. Agreed. There's my hand upon it. And mine. Hello. Postman again. Postman yesterday, postman today. Another letter, Colonel Cox. Twopence more. I forgive you again. Another trifle from Margate. Goodness gracious. Gracious goodness. Happy to inform you. False alarm. Sudden squall. Boat upset. Mrs. Wiggins, your intended, picked up by steamboat, carried into Boulogne, returned here this morning, will start by early train tomorrow, and will be with you at 10 o'clock exact. Cox, I congratulate you. Box, I give you joy. I'm sorry that most important business at the Colonial Office will prevent my witnessing the truly happy meeting between you and your intended. Good morning. It's obviously for me to retire. Not for worlds would I disturb the rapturous meeting between you and your intended. Good morning. You'll excuse me, sir, but our last arrangement was that she was your intended. Yours. 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 Ah, what's that? A cab's drawn up at the door. No, it's a twopenny omnibus. A lady's got out. There's no mistaking that majestic person. It's Penelope Ann. Your intended. Yours. Yours. Oh, she's coming up the stairs. Shut the door! I've just stepped out. So have I.
Mr. Cox! Open the door, it's only me, Sergeant Bouncer.
Only you? Then where's the lady?
Gone.
Upon your honour, as a militiaman?
Yes, she's left a note for Brigadier Cox.
Give it to me.
Then open the door.
Put it under. Goodness gracious. Gracious goodness. Dear Mr. Cox, pardon my candour, but being convinced that our feelings, like our ages, do not reciprocate, I hasten to apprise you of my immediate union with Mr. Knox. Huzzah! 3 cheers for Knox! Ha ha! That little second-floor back room is quite ready now. I don't want it. No more do I. What shall part us? What shall tear us asunder? Box! Cox! You'll excuse the apparent insanity of the remark, but the more I gaze upon your features, the more I'm convinced that you're my long-lost brother. The very observation I was going to make to you. Tell me, in mercy tell me, have you such a thing as a strawberry mark on your left arm? No? Then it is he! Of course, we stop where we are, of course. For between you and me, I'm rather partial to this house. I begin to feel quite at home in it. Everything's so clean and comfortable, and I'm sure the master of it, from what I have seen of him, is very anxious to please. So he is, and I vote, Box, that we stick by him. Agreed.
I hand upon its join, but yours agree the house will hold us. And 2 good notches Bouncer gets here in his arms enfold us. Oh yes, yes, to arms. And was alarms. You remember, of course, when I mounted a horse in Her Majesty's horse, as one of the yeomen who would cope with the foeman, for then an invasion threatens the nation, and there's no occasion to sing. Rat-a-blang, 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 the Melodian has married another respectable man. 3 cheers for Knox, who lives at the doors, and may he live happily if he can. Rat-a-blang, 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 for rat-a-blang, the Melodian has married another respectable man. 3 cheers for Knox, who lives at the doors, and may he live happily if he can. Rat-a-blang, 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 rat-a-blang. Hushed is the bacon on the grid. I'll take a nap and close my eyes. Soon shall I be nodding it, nodding, 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 singing lullaby, 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 lullaby. Hush, my bacon,
on the cold top, till I awaken where you must stop. La la. Sleep, gentle bacon, smoke a bit, which circling up smiles right on the fly. But I am nodding, nodding it, nodding, 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 singing lullaby, lullaby, lullaby. Hush, my babe, on the cold top, till I awaken, there you must stop. La la.